I'm Nancy, 48 years old. I've been living with my husband since a few years ago.
Nancy, do you know where my socks? Want to go for a walk, but I can't find my shoes. Oh, you're right. No wonder it was uncomfortable to watch.
We start living with her when she is diagnosed with dementia, but thankfully her symptoms are still mild. I only have to take care of her until time.
Giggle. Your feet will feel warm with layers of socks, keeping it away from cold.
That's true.
I hear some people turn to quick 10, but she's more like an innocent you. I suppose my stress from home care compared to some others.
Done. Let's go for a walk together.
After fixing her socks, we went on our daily walk. Even though her symptoms are mild, she still can't go out alone. Since I've switched to working from taking care of her, I've been surprised and distracted, absurd actions, but my days have been quite peaceful here.
By the way, I haven't seen Johnny. If he's misbehaving outside, I will be okay.
Gwen mentions at the dinner table.
He's coming back tomorrow. This business trip is longer than usual.
Ah, I see. Business trip. I thought he was just wandering around somewhere.
She sounds a bit disappointed, which chuckle.
Were you about to punish him?
My husband Johnny is not a bad guy, but he is too laid back, which sometimes becomes a problem. He easily loses himself in his hobbies, and he's irresponsible with money. I have to give him his allowance, but otherwise he spends it all at once. It's been Gwen's role to scold him when he's in trouble. She used to be a scientist. She has a striking way of grilling with her logic, and it's entertaining to watch him counter. I suppose my relationship with my mother-in-law is much more harmonious. Compared to some others, we live peacefully together. In spite of that, as Gwen mentions, Johnny has been absent from home more often. He says he's working harder. As my income is reduced due to my work style, I am unable to pay the full amount of rent, but I have mixed feelings about it. That's because our financial status has been affected. Since we moved in with Gwen, our rent has been paid. I would rather have him spend more his mother. So I want him to come home sooner than later. He's been coming back quite late. I'm going to have more business trips in the coming months. When he's finally back this time, and I'm taking out his laundry from his suitcase, I find undershirts that I haven't seen before.
Hey, where did you get this underwear?
What?
He looks terribly surprised by my light-hearted question.
They were in your suitcase. They didn't look like the ones you showed me, so I was wondering if they were the right ones.
Oh yeah, I bought them. The ones you packed were old. They were torn.
Really? I packed everything new. Did you tear them?
Are you sure? Maybe they were poorly made.
Oh, I see.
His suspicious behavior makes me skeptical.
Patch, don't you think it's strange?
I speak to Patch, the stray cat who adored by Gwen. He's now friendly with me, too. Well, he only meows when I speak to.
I checked thoroughly afterwards and found a scent of perfume, too. Is it an affair?
When I rub Patch's fluffy stomach, he back with his soft paw.
Are you comforting me?
In that case, let's investigate.
Gwen, were you listening?
If you have a doubt, act right away. Don't worry. He's careless, so he's of hiding anything. There must be pieces of evidence left behind.
She chuckled.
Have you already made an assumption that I am cheating?
I wink at her, but I decide to hire a detective. Of course, I'm going to prove that he's innocent. However, it is not always easy to find a suitable partner.
No way.
I can't believe my eyes looking at the report. When Johnny's back from his business trip, he'll be ready to take on any project you have in mind. What are you doing here? And why are you lying on the sofa?
I have an important talk with you.
He seems to sense my seriousness and sits on the sofa.
Do you have something to tell me?
What?
He flusters, which makes me sigh deeply.
What's happening?
You have something to say, don't you?
I look into his eyes just as Gwen do when she questions him. He looks down.
I'm sorry. Business trips are.
He keeps his head down and can't take any more.
Where have you been going?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by edit, but I can certainly help with any spelling or grammar mistakes.
The more I question, whiter his face, and his eyes shifted all over the place.
So, you don't deny that you're going somewhere and seeing someone, right?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not, but I can see that you have used for instead of form. It should be form instead.
His face is distorted with discomfort. I stare at him with a heaviness in.
Do you spoil her, child?
What? How do you?
He's now pale as a ghost.
I asked you about your undershorts day, right? Afterward, I went through your suit, noticed a slight scent of perfume. So, I had you follow.
I show him a picture of him, his girl, and her child smiling.
I had a fling out of my drunken years ago. As soon as I found out she was married, I never contacted her again.
Once he takes a plunge, he starts pouring out the details.
But a few months ago, she suddenly and told me that she was divorced and raising her son alone. She was struggling with her life and me to listen. So we went for a drink. While we were talking, we started having feelings again. But when she asked me to divorce you, no, I did dismiss her request.
He glances up while he's telling me his excuses and keeps talking.
But then she said the child was mine. I denied that it was impossible. And then she asked me to do a DNA test. I was sure I wasn't the father, but on top of it, the reason she was divorced was that her ex found out about it. My kid is really happy to find the father that I'm having a hard time leaving now.
He tells all that at once and then off.
What do you plan to do from now on?
Well,
He flusters again, and I sighed heavily.
If I didn't find out, you thought you could work it out, huh? I'm sure I would have discovered soon. To begin with, I'm handling all in this house. I've been wondering why your salary increased. Despite the late night and busy schedule, I still managed to get some work done. Then I find the undershorts and don't you think it's crazier to not? Aside from that, if this girl is really your daughter, you should be proud of her. You need to settle things out for future. Let's discuss this in a week. Think hard about it.
However, just 5 days later, inconceivable, an incredible thing has happened.
Nancy,
I run to Gwen, who is holding a manila envelope in her hand. Inside, there were divorce papers and letters. I see that he's already signed that. The letter reads, "Dear Nancy, I thought over and over and decided I wanted to focus on my daughter and her future. I couldn't leave my mother who struggled with money. I never thought that I wanted a child, but I fell in love with my daughter. Please divorce me. I wish to spend my life with my new. I have a responsibility as a father. Please look after my mom. You two get along well. So I feel comfortable leaving her. Take care, Johnny."
you want to talk about it?
Gwen put her hand softly on my back. I can't hold my tears and start Bo. I tell her everything and read them. And then she hugs me tightly in her arms.
I can't forgive my own son for what been doing. He needs to learn his lesson. Who does he think he is? I will support you in whatever you do. I ready to hunt him down till the... Don't be shy and tell me what you think of him.
I'm astonished by her rage. It is incomparable to when she normally scolds Johnny. My mind starts to see the situation differently by watching her.
Gwen, I was wrong. I told myself to think about the child and wanted to hear what Johnny had to say. I looked at it from a third-person perspective, but that was crazy. I haven't told him how I feel at all. And he doesn't even show any concern in the letter. He writes about me like a helper. I can't stand it. I'm going to retaliate against him.
The bubbles of anger are coming out now. We get down to coming up with our sewn right away.
I'm going to ruin you.
And then his payday arrives. Gwen and I are eating dinner when we hear shuffling at the front.
He's here.
Gwen giggles. We hear a knocking on the door.
Who is it?
I respond coldly and look out from the window. There's Johnny, looking agitated on. Who is it? I asked, opening the door.
Oh, even though you've left your own mother behind, you'll always be a part of her heart. You want to come back after just a coal week?
Gwen comically says and pops her head beside me.
No, I don't want to come back. Give me back my paycheck.
He yells impatiently.
But you have your own bank card at mine off.
You took some out.
Reason why he is in such distress is that Gwen, I have convinced him to change the payable account.
Let's take his salary.
When Gwen first mentions it, I think it's impossible and her symptoms are worsening. But he cheerfully says with a smile,
It is out of the question to have deposited into someone else's account. However, if it's another account or there's no problem.
She makes a call to his office.
Mr. C? It's been a long time. How been? I would like to ask you for a favor.
She has been a good friend of the C long time, and he also thinks the world of her. He willingly accepts her request after hearing the circumstances.
Your paycheck is in your account now. I also have another account under the name of I forgot to tell you though.
The kind of relationship the CEO makes it possible, and he agrees to pay into the account that she had opened as Extra Life, say Johnny.
It's my money.
Yes, it's your salary. As long as Nancy is your wife, you'll have to pay her a portion of it.
What?
He is stunned by Gwen's reply.
Johnny, I still have the divorce, Pete. I haven't signed or submitted it. We're still married.
Why?
To be honest, I have thought to get and over with immediately. But Gwen and I realized that it's worth staying married while we go through our plan. I'm saving the divorce papers for the being.
If you really want to divorce, you just leave it to me. But make sure that I sign and submit it.
That's all I say and draw curtains away from the window. Of course, the door lock has been This is a high-quality, heavy-duty steel padlock with a sturdy bolt lock as well. All the windows are shut and locked, and the video surveillance system is functioning properly. Johnny walks around the house and sees if there's any opportunity inside, but he gives up in the end.
Here, you can use it for whatever.
No way.
Gwen gives me an Atom card, but I don't want to touch the money. My own paycheck is enough to live on. Even though I take it from her hand, I immediately put it in a safe place. A few days later, Johnny visits again. We've asked him to come with his daughter and her mother.
Huh? Why? Mr. C.E.
Yes. He offers to act as a witness. We have a DNA test kit for legal paternity testing.
I smile broadly, to which Johnny gives an unpleasant look.
I've already told you that the result has been out.
But I haven't seen the actual collation specimen. And the result on paper.
Johnny reluctantly agrees when he has 6 intense glare.
You don't look comfortable with. Is there a problem if we check it out? It's no big deal for us. It's up to you to decide. But we have told you that we will the account and finalize the divorce if you agree to request, right? Our request is to take the specimen of us and prove the paternity of your deus. Mr. Sis is here to act as a witness again.
Coke, just do it and get it done, W. As long as this ends here, I don't.
Johnny sighs heavily and grabs but his girlfriend looks white as a sheet.
Oh, why? Are you leaving?
She backs away slowly, roughly pulling her daughter's hand. Without a word, she turned around and left through the door. Johnny is stunned by her escape. Her action proves that she has been, but we're not done with Johnny yet. Gwen says to him, who is left alone.
If it was me, I would take the test and pocket the money for now, and then the result is out. I would plan an escape. Maybe she is not that clever, is she?
She laughs out loud, to which I make note. Dementia or not, never step on the wrong side of her.
But if you're looking to make a more significant change in your life, then it may be time to consider therapy.
Did she really test your specimens?
I waive the additional report from the investigation.
Your girlfriend gets around. It's amazing that she approaches Eve guy she has slept with around the time she conceived. But true love is only one. She has been together with a guy, Sir School, who is currently unemployed. He saw the father.
No, that can't be.
Why don't you go and check? His current address is on the report.
He scowled at me and hurriedly ran out of my house with the report in his hand.
Such a fool.
Gwen shrugged her shoulder. Thank you, Mr. C, for coming despite your busy schedule. He gladly accepts the gift of wine and gives us a big hug when he leaves. We throw away the DNA test kit as it is useless now. Later on, Johnny comes back knocking door. We look at each other expectantly. Smiles.
I'm told she is not my daughter. On top of it, my saving is all gone. She keeps denying it despite my bank statement. Despite my bank statement, she keeps denying it.
The porch light shone disappointingly, like a spotlight in the dusk. Gwen and I watch him in despair and discreetly.
And what do you want now?
Gwen asked, holding her laughter.
What do you mean?
He mumbles like a little boy, but she doesn't hold back.
This is a house of a wife and a ma have left behind. You've left on your own will, so I can't let you come back just be change your mind. Want it? Mom? Who are you calling that? We are like strangers as soon as you get divorced. Besides, I have a very precious daughter who is willing to take care of me, even though I have troublesome defers. I doubt that there's a son who can his sick mother anywhere.
Johnny tears up with a grim look on. On the contrary, I tear up from the bottom of my heart because I am so grateful to be called a precious daughter.
Please take the envelope from the post office. The money you need for the time being should be separated into smaller envelopes, and if you use it all at once, you won't last until your next paycheck. Be careful. You will get the full paycheck from month.
Nancy, you're the only one for me all. If you still care about me, can't we?
His face brightens up, but I have absolutely no intention of giving up my job.
That envelope is my last kindness. Take care of yourself.
Wait, please. It was all my fault. Please forgive me.
With a bang of the door, he is shut, Gwen. After that, we sold the house and Ma. Gwen makes me her legal guardian bet. Dementia worsened. I'm now able to move all the ass wish. Her meticulousness renews my respect. She has chosen to live in a residential facility. I have my own apartment nearby, and I'm looking for someone to share it with me. It gives me peace of mind to be close to my family. I'm back to my full-time work now. As soon as all the legal matters and the relocation were done, I finally submitted the divorce paper and demanded alimony. Gwen has forced the lawyer to collect all the money in Johnny's extra savings account, which she had opened for him, and Johnny gave up without a fight. I'm a bit sad about losing my statutory daughter-in-law, but Gwen and I will continue to have a friendship.